3, 2, 1. All right, we are live on YouTube to talk, practice, and learn English. I have 10 questions here, and those questions, they are something not easy to answer and quite long. So we're gonna talk about the challenge to fluency. And let me just copy and paste in here. And for those who are sign up on Talk and Talk, you can check on our planner. And I also have expressions in here so we can use to be in the same boat, to beat around the bush, to hit the nail on the head. So we're going to try to use that as much as we can in order to learn. And the conversation is going to be about unraveling the challenge of achieving fluency. Why do expats struggle? This is a C2 conversation that I brought up for today, so it's not going to be easy, and that's the idea, to not be easy. And let's see how it goes. Belle, let's start with the presentations then. So, present yourself.
Okay, of course. So I'm Belle, but actually my name is Alberlene. Yeah, I born in Fortaleza, and nowadays I live in Salvador, Bahia. I live there in almost 8 years, and I live with my mother, with my sister. I have two dogs. I work like a air traffic controller, and nowadays I'm here in Pernambuco because I'm in course. Yeah, I I'm studying to improve my skills in supervisor, yeah, position at my work. And I'm here in TNT since the last year. That's it about me.
Very good. I'm Philip. Tomorrow we are going to celebrate 7 years of the platform when I started 7 years ago. Tomorrow I'm gonna also share something new about a new business I'm starting from scratch about self-development, mentoring, and coaching sessions for people, and it's going to be something. There's already a name and etc. So just to celebrate two things. And it's my third immersion today. I'm exhausted already. I
Oh,
haven't stopped working so far. And yeah, November this year, I'm moving to Canada. So that's why I decided to bring this topic. Okay, so we can discuss a little about it. And the very first question, Bell, and for those who are listening or watching, we have a planner with the questions where you can prepare yourself first. You can search for vocabulary, you can search for expressions, you can answer yourself first, and then you come here to talk. This immersion, it's 100% in English. There's no translation, but of course, if you need some kind of support, we are here to help, but not to correct, not to teach. We are here really to talk. And the first question is just a warm up. What are some common challenges expats face when trying to achieve fluency in the language of the country they reside in or they live in? Are these challenges similar across different countries? And I would add more. The challenges are the same if you are in your home country. So what do you
so
think?
yeah, that topic is a challenge, yeah. And I never live in abroad, so I will try explain or suggest my opinion. Yeah, think about that. But I think the culture is crucial in that topic. Yeah, when you talk about to live in another country, and when you talk about language, the language is a factor that's involved a culture. So I think it's better to learn other language in another countries, and because it's like immersion, yeah, you will live with another person. You can put your concentration in that culture. So that maybe it's better. But when you talk about the, I don't know to explain that, but when the culture is so strong, maybe that can be hard uh, to feel or to participate in with that culture. Yeah, that can be hard. And yeah, I think it's a good opportunity, but I know some persons that live abroad and don't was it's not possible to learning the language. Yeah, it's because the person it's not was the purpose of the person. Yeah, so I think, for example, for me nowadays, I try to learning and I try to be more close of the language or to learn that language. For me to live abroad nowadays will be a big opportunity to learn. Yeah, but I think depends of the purpose of the person. Yeah, so like I said, um, I know some persons from the TNT, for example, that have the experience to live abroad and don't use that opportunity to learn. Yeah, and yeah, I think depends of the purpose, like I said before, and the culture. I think was the two factors that involved that challenge. But
Yeah,
tell me
and
about you because you
yeah, and
live
I
it. Yeah.
yeah, I lived in 2011 in Chicago, United States. This experience I'm gonna have in November, it's gonna be like a 10-month experience in Toronto. But it's very common to see people living abroad in a place where the native language is English and they don't speak English. So um and it tells a lot about anything else the person has in life. It's pretty much you go to work, you work 8 hours a day, but you do not grow, you do not develop yourself. You stay in a place where everything is fine, but you're blaming a lot. Oh, my job, my boss, the economy, the president, the weather, my family, or whatever, you know? So what I see, and I understand, we are always struggling. And living abroad, it's not the dream people think it is. It's not. It's exactly the opposite because you need to face yourself above everything else. You need to understand yourself. You need to understand why you're doing that. Like, why the hell am I going to another country to be far away from friends, family, people that I know, and it doesn't need to be really in another country. If you move cities, it's like you are not living in your hometown, right? So
Yeah.
it's
And
pretty
I
much
feel a lot.
the same. It's all I would say it's almost the same, you know.
Yeah, I can understand that, but I think when you move for another country, that can be so hard and compare my experience because I just live in another state. So it's hard too because I'm not so close of my family nowadays. And I feel a lot about that. But when you talk about the culture, I think it's so hard because we broke some uh, yeah, some traditions, yeah, of the day, of the routine that can be so hard. But it's a big experience, yeah, it's a big moment for learn about the life and grow up yourself.
Yeah, and I guess the challenge itself it's huge because of the language, because the culture and how people think different from you. When you're in Brazil, like it has a huge difference. For example, I was born in São Paulo. Now I'm in another city here in Brazil, but it's different, you know, how people understand the world, how they are pursuing their dreams or doing stuff, working, the lifestyle, the things in the city to do or not to do, what most people are looking for. So uh, there are a lot of things that are different. But when you live in another country, you have no one to trust. You're by yourself, and you're far away from other people. The money is always an issue, at least for me. It's been always an issue, and it will still be an issue. So especially because of the currency. So the currency we have here in Brazil, it's not so good to live abroad. So I think the people who 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 try to go to another country to achieve fluency, they are not looking for fluency. They are looking to have fun, entertainment, to meet other people, the culture and places, and to have a good experience always at first. And then secondly, they are looking for the language. And the language is pretty much a consequence. But if they do not focus, it's going to be like in Brazil. You study, 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 and you do not achieve anything.
Yeah.
Anything. You know?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I feel that because we are here in Brazil, will for students of the language, it's like a struggle with the all the words, like to be a moment like that when you have when it's possible to have a conversation or like an immersion, yeah. And sometimes it's so hard because it's away of your routine or your culture, yeah. So it's like we need to looking for space or opportunity to talk in English and try to express yourself in another language. And I think sometimes the when the person live abroad and don't pay attention with that, it's like to ignore a good opportunity to improve that skills, yeah, or learning the language. It's just need to put focus in that in the language because it's a big opportunity. And like I said before, there are a lot of example the person that will live abroad and don't learn the language. And there are another side, yeah, the other side, there are some persons that will live in abroad and get a good will get a fluence, yeah. So it's depend of the purpose. I think is that, and sometimes the person just pay attention about you said, have fun and go meet new people, something like that.
yeah, and it's like what you have been saying, purpose, you know.
Hmm.
So I think that's the
Yeah.
key. When someone arrives on Talk and Talk to um to learn a language, the very first question when I mentor this person privately, I say, okay, what's the purpose of it? What you're gonna do with English? It's like this microphone. Okay. Oh, I want a microphone. I want to be fluent in this microphone. Okay, what you're gonna do once you have it? Oh, I'm gonna use uh for English conversations, for my YouTube videos, to use on stories on Instagram. So what are you gonna do to use, or what you're gonna do with English? I'm going to apply to a lot of interviews. I'm going to live abroad. I'm moving to another country. I want to um, double my income, my salary, you know. But people are looking, oh, I want to learn grammar. I want vocabulary. This is boring. This is
Yeah.
like, you know, you're going to have it, all the courses.
Yeah.
Like if you go to YouTube, you're going to find a lot of English courses for free. It's You just need to sit down, study, and learn.
Yes.
Simple.
And use the language.
It's simple as that. If people, oh, it's not. No, it's simple. If you can't do that, it's because you don't want to. Oh, but my life. Bullshit. excuses. You're not taking accountability about your life, about your process, about your journey. Because if money is the problem, then do by yourself for free. It's for free on the internet. Like we have French, Italian, German, and Mandarin courses on Talk and Talk for free for beginners. It's for free, and we grab the content, the classes on YouTube, and we wrapped the classes into a place and offer it for free. There's no excuses anymore to learn a language. Oh, but it's excuse. Everything you say, it's an excuse.
Yeah, it's true. I totally agree with you. And like you said before, I think that technology bring for us a great opportunity to learn. Yeah. So we have a lot of materials or devices for learning the language. Yeah. So we can use that. We can use a lot of books, videos, and music, a lot of things. So it's like I said, it's the purpose of the person. It's how that person are motivated to learn, yeah, or how that person can use your time for that. It's not just for pay something
Priority.
and yeah, it's not so pay something, some course and waiting for the course. It's like a
Yeah,
download in your mind. It's not like that. Yeah, you need to use that. You need to prepare your mind for that. Yeah. And when, like you said, the TNT for me changed my mind in that point of view. And so before they start that meeting, oh my gosh, that subject is so hard for me. There are a lot of expression that I know, but yeah, I need try to do that. I need it's for me, it's for myself, yeah.
yeah.
And I'm
Like I already know English. I'm fluent in English. Like I don't need that. I don't need English at all. I don't need to be here. I'm here because I want
yeah,
to, you know?
yeah, of course. So
So
and the English when I start to learn that the English, I start to realize that other things that I want to achieve at my life. Yeah. So I'm a really shy person, but when I think it's possible to use the English for communication, or when I expose myself 1 hours in YouTube to try talking English, and I know I will make mistakes, and when I do that, and I not feel bad when I try to do that, I know it's possible for me use or try to do different things at my life. Yeah. And yesterday, for example, I had to expose my point of view, and yeah, it's like give a class, I don't know, teach some persons of my coworkers. Yeah. Um, and I'm very anxious for that. And it's but in the past it's not so possible. I'm not will expose myself like yesterday I do. Yeah. And I just start to do that because it's like it's a challenge, but it's possible to do. Yeah. It's not a big problem to talk in Portuguese because sometimes I expose myself to try talking English. Yeah. And yeah, when you put yourself in that different kinds, or when you try to to face, or I don't explain that in small steps. It's we can you can grow up. Yeah, you can lead with different situation. You can try, and we will start to develop yourself in another way. Yeah. So I think
yeah, and there's no way to grow if you do not feel anything uncomfortable within. It's
yeah,
like you go to the gym, you feel uncomfortable. You go to a school, you feel uncomfortable. You go to work, you feel uncomfortable. You wake up in the morning, you feel uncomfortable. You need to learn a language, you're gonna feel uncomfortable. It's not enjoyable. It's not fun. If you want if you want to have fun learning, like, it's not the purpose. Oh, but learning can be fun. Yeah, but you're an adult. You're not a child anymore. You know? Oh,
Yeah.
like in the WhatsApp group of students, I got really pissed. That's why I didn't reply back so quickly as I used to, because it's all excuses, all excuses, just excuses. I read a lot of excuses, billions and billions of excuses to not achieve fluency. Oh, my time. Oh, my process. Okay, stop blaming and study. Do it. Join the meetings. Read. Listen. Ask questions. Nobody's asking questions. But when there are there is an opportunity to blame, everybody's there, but nobody's asking questions. Nobody's asking for support. Nobody. People are just waiting the world to treat them like kids, like children. I'm not their dad, not even their mom. I'm just a business person trying to help. And if you want me to help, pay me. So sometimes people, oh, I want private classes with you. Okay, 2,000 reais per month, one class a week, 1 hour, 500 reais per class. And it's cheap. It's cheap
Yeah.
because,
Yeah, your time is precious.
yeah,
There
because
is value in your
for
time.
me, like it's not worth it, 500 reais an hour. So we are here talking 1 hour. People pay me 500 reais to have this kind of conversation.
Oh my God.
They do pay me. But there are people like because the time, oh, it's in the middle of the afternoon. I don't care. Like, it's your problem, not mine. There are like tons
Yeah.
of hours in the week, in the night, like, so the challenge is you need to face the challenge, but not
Yeah.
everybody's willing to do that.
Perfect.
Just a behavior. Oh, I want to be the boss. I want to have more. I want to earn more money. Money equals responsibility. If you have the power to solve problems, you're going to have more money. So I'm starting a new business. It's not easy. People are going to blame me. Oh, you need to focus on talk and this and that. Oh, everybody's telling me every single day what I need to do. Oh, you need to do that. You need to do this. Oh, you need to be this person. You need to be that person. Oh, you can't do this. You can't say this. I uploaded a video, I guess yesterday, telling, oh, fire your teacher. And then I was expecting like dislikes to be canceled. Unfortunately, I wasn't, because I was looking for that, because it would bring me some kind of awareness, money somehow. But that's exactly what I think. It's not like a clickbait. It's what I believe. Stop studying. Start
Yeah.
talking. Simple as that. There's no magic. I hate
Yeah.
languages. I hate learning languages. And I speak Spanish, English, and Portuguese. And I'm
Yeah.
going to learn French or whatever other language. It's just, I just need to find the purpose. What I'm going to do with French. I still need that to do something,
Yeah. Of course. That's it. Amazing.
Yeah. So that's just the first question, 40 minutes on the first question. Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
want to choose a question?
Okay. Let me
Yeah.
see.
Just to see.
Let me see. I was looking for immersion. Yeah. So the question number 3 is more
3.
real for me. Yeah. Yeah. In your opinion, how important is immersion in the local community for experts aiming for language fluency? Can one achieve fluency without integrating, falling into the local culture? So it's
Yes.
an amazing question, yeah. And I totally agree, or I believe that's possible to achieve the fluency. And like I said before, we have nowadays a lot of technology and will provide that for us. And for me, it's amazing. And when you talk about community, it's amazing too. When you talk about the TNT, and it's so interesting because I miss a lot of conversation. For example, when I return, it's possible looking the talkers improve yourself. Yes, oh, it's amazing. Your English is better, and when you start to think about that, it's because that person uh, use the all the meetings or all your time to study. Yeah, it's like it's possible to for me seeing the YouTube or in another, yeah. So it's amazing because that person motivated me, yeah. And when we receive some feedback or when it's possible, I try give feedback for someone. I'm sorry
No
about
problem.
that. It's the window.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's amazing when realize that, yeah. And I think that's power of the community, yeah. In that community we can realize or motivated ourselves. And I was watching video about that subject before they start the conversation because I I want to be more yeah, I want to be
Warm
more,
you up to be more involved
sorry?
with it, to be
Yeah,
more
to be more
involved,
involved.
warm you up.
Yeah, it's a technique that I use. I start some meetings. I start to listen something about for improve myself or for um, set my mindset with the English. So yeah, it's a technique that persons live abroad use when live in another country, and your purpose is learning the language. It's looking for a community to practice the language. Yeah. So for me, here it's not possible. I never was abroad or I never have that experience to live with another person or in another country. But here in Talk and Talk, it's possible to live like immersion. Yeah, I'm try the most part of the time don't talk in Portuguese or I believe you don't will understand me in Portuguese, and I try use like a simulator. Yeah, so and uh, I think it's possible. Like I said, that question is so interesting because of that.
Yeah, yeah, and like studying it's lonely, to
Yeah.
study, especially languages. You can't learn a language if you're not talking to anyone. You need another
Yeah.
person to learn a language.
Yeah,
It's
it's comfortable or it's that's motivated. I think that the word for me, the feeling it's it's like that. That motivated me a lot. When I can see the person achieve your goals or your fluence, and it's more real for me, and I can look in that it's possible for me in the future. Yeah, I,
yeah, and
I use that.
that's the reason why we have like a community here, because um and people, they are still attached to the old way of learning, that you have a teacher, you have someone telling you what to do, and you do a test, and then you get a grade, a mark, and it's okay, you learned. But that's not learning. So the community itself, it's there to collaborate with your
Yeah,
process and the way back. So you're here as a host, bringing a topic. It's hard to deal and to lead the conversation, to get people to pay attention on you. So there are a lot
yeah,
of skills that are being developed that most people, they are not aware about, especially the hosts. Even though
yeah, and like you said, it's like when you are involved and to be a fluent, for example, to be a host, it's a big opportunity because I need to choose a subject, and that's point. It's very interesting because it's it's open. Yeah, I can bring a lot of subject that's possible, and it's really good have a good conversation with another person. Like you bring me that idea in the first immersion with you. We are here to building a bridge. Yeah, it's not uh, to building a wall. So it's that's point. It's really interesting, and I use the questions for a moment to study grammar or some structure or some vocabulary. Yeah. So it's a big opportunity for me. It's a huge moment to stop um, 30 minutes of the day for week, for example, and okay, it's my time to choose a subject, a good topic for me. Looking some videos on YouTube, for example, listen about that and think about the questions. What kind of the questions will be good for change experience? Yeah, and it's the time to use the grammar or structure. It's not a rule, but it's possible to study with that. So it's possible explore a lot of skills of the learning language. Yeah. So I
Yeah,
try use that, and I want to improve that and give more attention for that because that helped me a lot. But when you talk about to be a host, it's a great opportunity to be a leader too. Yeah, and that's
yeah,
power.
because you I have been telling people, once you're a host, you need to guide the conversation. You need to choose the topic. That's the difference between a person you love talking to and a person you don't love talking to. Because every week you have the chance to bring a different topic. And if you're every week talking about languages, it's boring because you're gonna just have that topic in mind to talk to other people. But if you start talking about different subjects, then you're gonna show yourself as an interesting person to have people around. People are gonna love being around yourself, you know. Oh, but I need to learn English. Before learning English, try to be interesting. Are you interested in Portuguese? Do you have information to talk to any person? Do people like to talk to you in Portuguese? If not, they are not going to like talking to you in English either.
Yeah, perfect.
The language is not the problem. It's not the challenge. It's information. Which
Yeah,
information do you have in mind to share? What can you teach? What can you exchange? So what are the experiences you have? Places. This is why people love traveling, because when they travel, like there are some people on Talk and Talk that they always talk about their trip to Canada. The first time is okay, the second time is fun, the third time is nice, but after a while gets boring. Oh, again, that person talking about the trip to Canada or whatever the place for the 100th time. I already know this story. Like I talk about my story, about Talk and Talk story every single time, not because I like it, because I'm bored about talking the same old story. I tell that because of business strategy, money, because I'm selling. It's a story to sell. There are a lot of new people that they are coming, joining, and etc. But it would be boring if that's the only story I have to talk about Talk and Talk, you know? So
yeah,
going to Canada, it's a new chapter. It's a new
yeah,
moment of my life. I'm going to spend a year over there and I'm going to bring new ideas. I'm going to make new friends. I'm going to meet people. I'm going to try to exchange ideas with other entrepreneurs, other startups in there, bring
yeah,
students, Brazilian students from Canada. So more
Perfect.
things to be more interesting, you know.
Yeah. You need to be open for the all the opportunities, yeah, all the persons, all the new ideas that will bring with that change in your life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that will be really good for you, for
Yeah.
your business too, of course.
Yeah, and vision of future, future ideas. Oh, I want to achieve. I remember when I wanted to quit my career in IT, the idea was to have an English school. It turned out that it's not an English school, it's something different. But it started from the idea of having an English school. I want to have a franchise of Wise Up. Turned out to not be even an English school, but started from something. And then it turns out to develop the idea and to grow, to get muscles around it. So, and community is part of that and helps to achieve whatever I want to achieve. So can a person achieve fluency without fully integration of the local culture? I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah. And it doesn't mean that you need to be
So
around
do you
people.
believe it's necessary to move your for another culture to be affluent
No,
or
you
not?
don't need to. No, you don't need to. But
Okay.
you need to understand, like when you learn the language, you learn the language. You have fluency about that. But
Yeah.
when you want to fully
Okay.
understand the culture,
I get it. Yeah.
then you need or to study or to watch a lot, listen a lot, or go to the place. It's impossible to integrate yourself deeply enough if you're just learning the language. Like you can be fluent, you can express yourself, understand, but if you start learning, listening, watching, reading about that culture, and I'm not talking about English because there's English everywhere. You want to learn English? Go to Nigeria. It's their native language.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to learn English with native speakers? Go to Nigeria. Oh, Nigeria is not cool, right? To put on your resume. It's not nice to share with people. It's cool when it's Canada, when it's the United States. But then if you go to a place like Nigeria in Africa, you're going to learn English and you're going to get fluency in there, specifically about the place. You're going to be fully
Yeah.
integrated. You're going to get expressions like in here. You are fully integrated in talk and talk like a country. It feels like
Yeah.
talk and talk is a country. And
So
then you're
virtual country.
involved with the culture of talk and talk.
Yeah.
It's
So
it's
I
this.
get it. You said it's like the language, the first step that you can use for to be integrate, yeah, with the future. It's the first step because with the communication, will provide you that some abilities or change experience, change ideas, change different conceptions, and that will be the first step to be integrated in that culture. Yeah. So it's a amazing point. And yeah, I really like when you talk like the country. It's like another country. It's like a virtual country. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a virtual
And
fun.
the
Yeah,
community. Yeah.
because you're
It's
exchanging
interesting.
ideas, you're learning from people, you are putting out your point of view, you're expressing yourself. There's like
Yeah.
if I wanted, I could correct everybody in here about their English every single time, like every 5 seconds. I would, but that's not the idea. That's what everybody's doing out there. That's what Javi
Thank you
Carneiro is.
for that because
Yeah, that's. CCAA or
Yeah.
Cambly teachers, they are correcting people. They have prepared questions. They are focused on the language. And you're having a conversation with a teacher. Here, we are just having a talk live on YouTube. It's key. YouTube is key
Yeah.
to the process.
Yeah. At the first, I was thinking it's like, oh, it's a technique for you looking for you in the past and the immersion, for example, at the beginning of the last year. It's a good one because you can look in your like how much you improve your language, but at the second moment, it's work like in the emotional way because you expose you to talk with another person in English, and yeah, there are you are afraid about your mistakes, but you you're tired. You expose yourself. It's not a problem to make a mistake. So that's two ways. It's a great point for me, and it's like changing the mindset of my mind to learning the language.
Yeah, it's all about the mindset. So we have different cultures in here. We have an English culture that's specifically for talk and talk. We have a French one, Spanish one, Italian one, and we are developing another other two cultures, German and Chinese. That's going to grow, that's going to start. So yeah, you don't need to study. You just need to practice. And by practicing, you're going to achieve, conquer your challenges pretty much. And of course, economic factors, money, food, family, friends, internet, your job, whatever, it's going to affect all of this. But in the end, you have just one simple task: practice English every single day. Oh, you don't know? Start presenting yourself. That's why presentations are so important. Present yourself in English. You want to start from scratch? Present yourself in French, in Japanese, in whatever the language. Start with your personal presentation for free. You want to learn a new language? Go to your personal presentation, your name, your job, where you're from, what you do. Try to do that in Mandarin. You have
Yeah.
the script, so try to cast to another language. You know?
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, we had time to
So
answer two questions, right?
yeah, but was amazing conversation. Like I said, I'm anxious for that conversation, but it was amazing and so good when talk about that because bring it's like I use that conception again and I can motivate it more to continue the study because it's a process. Yeah, it's not so quickly. We need to have more time for that and to be a constant for a long time. So it's not so quickly like the other person uh, think that like to learn a language in 3 months or 6 months.
Yeah, it's simple. Stop blaming others, stop with excuses, and do what you need to do. That is, sit, study, and speak. Okay.
Yeah.
Bill, it was
Okay.
really good talk. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a while and hope to talk to you soon again.
Okay. Thank you, Felix. Bye bye.